Hey, what's up, everybody? XRP sitting at $3.10. Let's take a look and see what's going on. So the price is obviously, flagging out in here, right? We talked about this being some type of ABC in here, right? We can see ABC. The question is are we going to get a more complex ABC before going up, or is it going to turn into some type of B wave where we have, say that's A, we shoot, come up here, that's B, three waves up for B, and then we come down for C, and then we go up. So those are basically the only options, right? Either this is done and we're ready to go now, or this is part of a bigger correction and we're going to go later. So either way, I think we're going to go. We have to wait and see how this plays out, right? Because we got this expanded flat, right? We have three waves up. If it's really going to be bearish, then we're going to get three waves down and then go up. So let's see how that plays out. And for Theta, we're looking at this as a massive three wave, 1 year plus three-way pullback here, right? So you had Wyckoff at the low, you broke out, you back tested it, came back up, came all the way down. Now we're inside the range again, and we're sort of Wyckoffing in this range. So the idea here is to get a retrace, and that's exactly what I think is going to happen based off the structure below, right? You can clearly see 5 waves down with major bullish divergence, right? So, and then you have this wave up, and now we're working on another wave. So either this wave is going to break us out, or we're just like XRP, this is going to be an ABC and then break out later. So again, those are the two options I see with Theta. We're at a very challenging place because we're not only inside of a range, which is hard enough, but we're also in this retrace. So you have point A, point B, point C. So obviously point C is the most challenging place to be, right? Because you don't know if it's going to go up from here or come back down. You can start to see we got a 4-hour bearish engulfing candle. It doesn't look ready to me. It looks like it still needs some work. It is Sunday. I don't expect anything today or tomorrow. We'll see what happens Wednesday, Thursday. Last Thursday we had a volatile day. It happened to be down to the downside, right? So something about Wednesdays and Thursdays is big volatility. So we'll see what direction that is, right? But for now, we're stuck from here into here. We're right in the middle. So we're trying to figure out, okay, where is it going? So you could say, well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves up. Okay, well, then you're going to need an A, a B, and then a C, and then make another attempt, right? But even then, that could be 3, that could be 3, and then we would have to go back down in 3, right? I mean, it can get crazy complex. So that's why I don't even try to go down those roads. I'm just looking at it from a very simple perspective, right? We can also look at this like Wyckoff, either schematic 1 or schematic 2. Theta, not only Theta, but you can look at it like Theta and SHIB and AVAX and NEAR and few others look exactly the same, right? As far as their structures go. So Wyckoff meaning something like this where you get a spring and then you come up and then you go. That's exactly what Wyckoff is. Or you could come down here, just do something like this and then go, and that would be schematic 1 and schematic 2. So we don't know if it's going to be like a spring or whatnot. So just like this, I mean, you can pretty much see, right? You know, you got this move up, move down without taking with taking the low, move down, we took the low, move back up without taking the high, move back up without taking the high. So it's really the same thing. And then it comes down and it breaks both of these lows in a spring phase and gets everybody bearish. Everybody's like, what the hell's going on? But we know what it is. It's a liquidity grab if it in fact happens, right? And then we start moving back up and then continuing. I've been trying to get a video out anywhere between 30-minute video to an hour video. It just does not want to upload at all. I switched internet providers and it's still just, I don't know, man. I just don't get it. It's very weird. So I'm either going to have to get a different computer or a different phone set up. We'll see what happens. But I'm going to keep this one, try to keep it as short as possible. So yeah, but this is the reality of what's going on here. Luckily, there was nothing too exciting going on in the week that we missed. Basically, we're just kind of, we're waiting in here. And let's not forget how incredibly important of an area we're at. Let's look at Bitcoin real quick. So Bitcoin is struggling. You can see it's kind of doing something like this, right? Flipping green, red, green, red, green, red, with some liquidity grabs down here, green, red, green, red, green, red. So let's look closer. So if we look closer at the daily, you could see that, you know, obviously here's our impulse, here's our expanded flat, here's another impulse, 3-wave pullback, broke the high, 3-wave pullback, and then break the high again. So either we're going to get a 3-wave pullback and this is going to turn into some kind of flat right here. Look at this. So we have, right, 3-wave pullback, 3 waves down. This could be, you know, W, this could be X. And now we're starting to come down in Y or ABC, you know, we'll see. So 3, 3, 3, it's a flat, and then we go up. And that creates a nice base, just like this one over here, right? So A, B, B, C, and C, and then go, and then go. It's pretty much, you know, just pretty simple to just look at it like that, right? But is it going to be simple? Because if it was, everyone would be millionaires, right? But it's not. It's never simple. It's always challenging. So we have to figure out, what is it doing that's challenging? Well, you know, we got to take it wave by wave. But what I could see here is a 5-wave move. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very nice, actually. I see this move down. Looks like a 5-wave move down, and we're kind of hanging here at the lows. So remember, today is the weekly close. A lot of times when you have the weekly candle close, you go below where you went before, right? So let's look at the weekly real quick. And if you look at every weekly candle, let me just take my handy dandy arrow here, right? Look at this candle. We had a bullish engulfing candle. The candle closed right there on Sunday. Then the candle opened up on Monday, Sunday evening, Monday morning, right? And then what happens Monday? We go all the way down, right? And then what happens Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? Then we start coming back up, and then we break the high, and then we close here on Sunday. So if you look at this weekly candle, this one did it, but the opposite. You could see we spiked the high, came back down, right? Spiked the high, came back down. So now the candle is going to close here. So the new candle is going to open up here. So we could come down and we could wick way down here, even down there, right? And still have a nice candle for the end of the week. We'll see. Just basically what that means is you know, we should expect lower prices after the close to get some kind of weekly wick on the bottom of that candle. And that, to me, makes sense because of where we're at. So I would like to see this come up in 3 and then come back down in 5. Something like that. And then start, you know, the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, right? So that's kind of how I would like to see it. Now, if it comes down like this, then we can say, well, then this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So, but as long as Bitcoin is, where's the bull market support band? I haven't looked at it in a minute. Oh yeah, Bitcoin is very nice because it's above the bull market support band. Everything looks good. We had a 9 on the 12-hour. Look at the 9. Look at the 9. We had a 9 buy. We came all the way up. We had a 9 sell perfectly. So that is TD sequential. If you want that indicator, just look up trend reversal predictor. It's basically, to understand this indicator, just go to Google, type in TD sequential how to use, and there's videos on how to use it, but basically you want to use it with something else like Elliott wave. And basically all it is an exhaustion indicator. It lets you know when the price is becoming potentially exhausted, right? Using a sequence of 9, right? There's something about the 9, just like Nikola Tesla, right? He said there was some strange stuff about 9s, right? 369. So however it works. But we could literally see this come all the way down and retest the bull market support band and give us a nice a 3-way pullback. Just like how we had a 3-way pullback here, we can get another one here. So Bitcoin is continuing to go up, but it's not going up powerfully and bullishly. It's going up more so correctively, and this is signs that it's like being forced up, right? So, and that's why we see the Bitcoin dominance starting to come down. So let's keep moving before time runs out. Ethereum, I mean, what can you say? Ethereum looks great. We broke out. You could see on the higher time frames, we've completely broken out. And let's go to the weekly. So we're about to have the highest weekly close in Ethereum's history. I mean, not Ethereum, I'm sorry, in the past several years. So we have one more close over here, but the important thing is this one, this. So this will be our second consecutive close above this range, right? But in doing so, we created 5 waves. So it wouldn't surprise me if we stalled out in here for a little while, kind of like that, the same length of time before continuing, or it could just keep breaking out, you know, just small minor pullbacks. You know, we're going to get pullbacks, but we don't know the degree of what, you know. You can see this is a bigger degree, this is a smaller degree, right? You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can see 5. So, you know, we should have a little bit of a correction coming up soon. So that's basically it. Go back to XRP real quick. So XRP, in terms of all the ideas, first idea, bearish idea, not my main idea, but you have 3 down, you have 3 up, and then you would get 3 back down. And somehow, some way, that would obviously break the bull market support band, right? That's why I don't really think that's the case. So, but this would be the bigger case, either A, B, and C, and then we test it and then go. That would be like the best case for a lot of reasons, because it would give us a 3-way pullback. It would make more sense. It would give us more momentum. Or this could be 1, 2, 3, and this is 4, and now we're revving up for wave 5, and we're just going to go for it. So again, 2 ideas: boom, 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 go, or boom, 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 go. Now, if this turns into 3 and then we go back up in 3, that's going to be different because that's going to be bad, right? Because then I would expect another 3 down, and then that would be 3, 3, and then 3, and then go. And that would be more towards the end of the year. So we're either going to break out now or towards the end of the year. So, all right, let's look at a few others. Let's look at AVAX really fast. AVAX is literally the same thing as Theta, literally the same thing. Look how bullish this is for Theta and AVAX. It's guys, it's the same thing. So, I mean, look, I could put it up here side by side. You can see the same type of structure, right? Pop the high, three-way pullback, base, literally the same. So, yeah, AVAX looks a little bit better because it looks stronger up in here, and you can see it's back testing the bull market support band. I really like what I'm seeing with AVAX. So 2 ideas: either this is going to be A, B, C, and then go up, or same thing, we're just going to rev up and go, right? Those are the 2 bullish main ideas. Now, if it wants to be bearish, this could start to come down a little bit, break the low, then come up, then continue like that, which would be a Wyckoff. It would be a big spring, but I don't think so. I don't think it's postured like that. It doesn't give me that impression. So yeah, there's Theta, AVAX, basically the same thing. So SHIB, also exactly the same. You can see there's SHIB right there. Look at the best thing I love about Theta and SHIB and AVAX and ICP and NEAR and coins like that is because look at this 3-wave oscillation. It's perfect. You have a base right here. You broke out of the base. You back test the base. You retrace. You come back and you retest the base again, creating another base on top of the base. So you're building layers and layers of concrete and steel support. You're building support so that we build our launch pad so we can get out of there. You know, a breakout's coming. We just got to be patient. So let's look at other coins like, now you have the HBARs, the ADAs, the XLMs. They're kind of in their same category. So HBAR, you could see this looks like, I'd like to see it come down and have a 3-wave shape. Backtest the bull market support band, be a 1-2-1-2. The most bullish thing in crypto is a 1-2-1-2, and then go, right? Because we have our 3-way pullback, right? What we don't want to see is this turn into like, 3 and then 3, and then we come down in 3 or 5 and then go up. Something massive like that. That's what we don't want. That's why we're such at a dangerous place. We're at a very dangerous spot. Point A, point B, point C. We're in a pressure cooker right now. This is a very dangerous place to be if you're trading, right? So if you're hodling, you're investing, you have nothing to worry about. But if you're trading, it could really go either way. So that's why we have to be patient. We're in a range in here. If we hit the bottom, it's not over. It's a 3-way pullback. I'd actually be bullish if we broke down. So if this comes up and takes the high, I would expect it to do something like this, maybe like a flat or something. So either way, we're going to get some kind of shenanigans. Link, I should have held my link. I sold it. Not my investment, my trade. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I sold it right there. It came down. It popped the high. No big deal. But essentially what we have here is the same situation, right? 3 down, double bottom, right? I should say 3 up. So either this is going to break out or we're going to come down in 3, then break out, right? So same thing with HBAR. Polygon is in the Theta SHIB category. It's building the Wyckoff base. So everything else, I mean, we're green today, but I don't trust any green days on Sunday. There's no such thing as a green day on a Sunday unless it's full, like 10% moves, right? So everything else, let's take a look at ADA. Grayscale filed for an ADA ETF, so we got to keep an eye out for that. So ADA looks also interesting. You have that move down, You have that double bottom, same thing like everything else, the double bottom, the three-way move up. The question is, is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? The question is, are we going to flag out in here, then break out? Or is this going to be 3, 3, and then 3? And then that could take months to work out, right? So I don't think so. I think this is a nice base right in here. It's ADA's got a completely different looking base. It's or a shape, I should say. It's got more of a base look to it, right? You can even say that this was Wyckoff in here, where we kind of hit the high, come down, hit the high. There's your spring right there. You come all the way up, you play around, and now we're ready to blast off. So ADA looks like it already completed its Wyckoff formation, which tells me, well, what about AVAX and SHIB and Theta? Do they still have to do theirs? Well, not really. If ADA is ready to go, then ADA could be the one telling the story here. So that's pretty much it for everything. Keep an eye out on like even Litecoin here, right? You got 3 waves down, you got 3 waves up. You're right in the retrace. It's very a dangerous place to be. So again, either we flag out, we back test the bull market support band, we break out. Basically, we're revving the engine, about to break. Or is it 3, 3, 3, which takes months and months and months, and then we go up? See, it all is good. The pivot is going to happen here. And with the Russia-Ukraine stuff, with all the other stuff going on, it's we're at a very interesting, peculiar spot. So we'll see how it all unfolds. Until then, keep an eye out for more videos. I'm going to put out a members video very soon. We're going to talk about some interesting things. Look at Fetch. Fetch actually looks pretty bullish right in here, It's kind of flagging out in here a little bit after that big 3-wave pullback. And even like Filecoin, I think Filecoin is severely undervalued in here. You're kind of Wyckoffing in here. So it just feels like it should give us a retrace. You could see the high. It looks like it needs to come up and test this trend line here. Boom. And then boom. So we should get a move back up. And that percentage, roughly speaking, could be 100, 200%. So IOTA also looks kind of interesting. This is also a massive 7-year 3-wave pullback here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this could be like this could be basically a 7-year 3-wave pullback, and then you have a wave 1, kind of like a wave 2, and we're gonna rev up and go. Could be. So if everything starts to take off, I would expect that to happen. Theta fuel, same thing with Theta. It's creating this structure down here, expecting it to break out. Just put it mildly. So XRP versus Bitcoin looks like it needs to come down a little bit, like A, B, and then come down for C, test the bull market support band, then come up, following that expanded flat. Like Dogecoin, you're kind of creating a base, you break up, create another base, break up, create another base. So it looks like it's revving. It looks like it too wants to come up and have a retrace. So anyways, as far as the weekly close goes, there's really nothing going on. The main part about this is trying to escape this range. This XRP is still technically in a bear market, right? You could say technically speaking, we haven't had a bull market for XRP in over 7 years. So this has just been cupping up, rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation. We've been going sideways for a while. We finally made it to the top. Now we're just working out these final layers of support before we ultimately, hopefully, break out, right? Obviously not financial advice. It could be totally wrong. But with the ETF and all of the crypto ammunition, like regulations and much more stuff to come, it's only the beginning. Remember, companies and businesses, corporations, hedge funds, institutions, they all want a piece of this, not just for an investment, but to actually utilize the technology to make their own business successful. Imagine taking you know, whatever business and trying to find an application or a blockchain application for that said business. So, I mean, this is just the beginning. Let's just put it that way. So, in the meantime, very small time frames. I mean, it's not too, there's really nothing too exciting here. You did have 3 waves up. You do have 3 waves down. So I wonder if this kind of shoots back up in 3 and gives us a bigger 3. And then here's your bull market support band. Then we come down. So it'd be like A, B, C, and then something like that. So anyways, we have plenty of time to react in here. But this kind of looks a little bearish. You know, you have a big wick down here. So a lot of times the market has to come down and retest 50% of that wick to say, okay, it's the real deal. You know what I mean? So anyways, I'm going to try to get this video uploaded before it becomes impossible. All right. So I will catch you guys on the next one. Cheers.